Rob C's question is up next. He says, seeing as we're talking about the S&P 500, what are your thoughts on investing in an S&P ETF versus a buffered annuity with a high cap rate and downside protection that tracks the S&P 500? And then he does say, thanks,
equity
love
index
the show.
Annuity.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong, Brian?
Was this an ETF question or was this an annuity question? Read it again so I know what.
That is true. He says, what are your thoughts on investing into an S&P ETF versus a buffered annuity with high cap rate and a downside protection?
Okay. What are your thoughts on buying a financial investment that purchases equities, that is ownership in companies,
Gets the dividends
versus buying an insurance product that aims to mirror some of the performance that takes place in
in
that
the marketing
index?
brochure?
Right. Okay. Brian, where would you go with this one to start?
I would first go to, we can't give you specific advice. However, we've done case studies, and you go to Money Guy Show and type in like equity index annuity, because anytime markets are scary, these products just kind of, the Eeyores of society. Oh no, the market's going down. Because you know how it is. So they come out and they sell these things, but here's where it's a great brochure, because let me go ahead and do it. They say, look, you want to make what the market makes, but wouldn't it be nice if it had a ratchet attached to it? Meaning, you know how ratchets work. When the market goes up, you go up. However, when the market goes down, you're like a ratchet. You can't go back down. This is the perfect thing. But then if you read the fine print, there's what's called participation rate. There's and then there's also caps on the performance. And then when you actually read the fine print, we found out that there's even, what's so crazy is they capped the upside. Like we had a client actually that became, let us see this product that was sold to them. The upside was limited. So in these years that the stock market makes 25, 30%, they were capped out at 10%, 11%. But then the years that the market lost 15%, the product let them lose every bit of that 15%. So if you, all of a sudden, this thing became a mathematical, there was no way they could ever win. Because even if they had a year that they made 10%, the year that they lost 15% of the stock market, they got crushed. Right. I mean, it'd wipe out 3 or 4 years worth of gains. Well, the reason is because you didn't get mathematically those years of outsized performance. That's what, when people talk about you can make 10 to 11% every year investing, they're not really talking about that. Yes, the S&P 500 averages 10 to 11% historically, but it comes in all kind of sizes. It comes in 32%. It comes in 20%, but it also comes in negative 15%. It comes in negative 37%, like 2008. You have to have enough of those up days that it overcomes the mathematical, flaws of these participation and buffers that they put in.
Generally speaking, we like for our investments to be investments, and we like for our insurance to be insurance. We like for our risk-on investments to be risk-on, and we want our risk-off or risk-reduced investments to be risk-off or risk-reduced. When you start trying to buy financial products that aim to do both of those things, I worry what you're going to get is a very expensive, suboptimal outcome. That's not to say that we hate annuities or we're against all annuities or annuities never make sense. Not a chance. If you need a guaranteed income stream and that's something that is part of your financial plan, an annuity may very well be the way to do that. But if you're trying to grow your dollars into the future and you want equity-like exposure to be able to do that, one of the absolute best ways you can go about getting that exposure at the lowest cost possible with the biggest bang for your buck possible is just low-cost index funds without having to wrap it into some sort of insurance product. So I would step back, Rob, and say, okay, what problem am I trying to solve? What goal am I trying to achieve? And what financial products are the ones that are going to be the highest probability of being able to reach those goals in the most efficient manner? And oftentimes, I don't think it's buying products that bundle and jumble it all together.
Look, investing is risky. That's why there's risk reward. That's why there's diversification to take all that stuff into account. Anybody who tells you they're going to give you the risky investment with a guaranteed rate of return or take away all that risk and still give you all the good, It's too good to be true, and it's usually in the fine print. It's usually in the fees. It's usually in the way it's designed. Just do your homework.